What's up, Fit Fam? If you don't know me, I'd like to welcome you to the group. Hello, I'm Coach FitPro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. I've been there, done that, and now I help others do the same. Those are my before and after pictures up there in that group photo for the cover photo. I help successful busy people turn their mom and dad bods into oh my God bods without overwhelm by keeping it simple, keeping it moving, and keeping it real. Thanks for joining us. Before we get into today's main event, I wanted to remind you that there's a poll posted in the group asking your opinion about which topic you would like our group expert, performance physical therapist Zach Wagner, to feature in our group's first virtual performance physical therapy workshop on Monday, November 7th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, it looks like lower back pain is in the lead. So please don't forget to head on over to that poll and cast your vote. Look out for the event to be posted here in the group sometime early next week. Okay, on to today's main event. Today I have with us our group expert and registered dietitian, Tiana. It's been about a month since Tiana's been on. So we thought we'd share with you a few hacks you and your families can use to have a healthier Halloween this year. Tiana, would you mind introducing yourself to all of the new group members so that they know who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thanks.
Jason. My name is Tiana Celestia. I'm a registered dietitian and functional wellness expert specializing in gut health. Thank you for having me here again.
Always, always. All right, so what we'll do here is we're going to share with you guys a few Halloween hacks to have a healthier Halloween this year. I'll go ahead and I'll give you five or so, and then I'll give it on over to Tiana. She can take care of the rest here. So, number one tip for a healthier Halloween for you and your family. A healthy lifestyle is important every day of the year. So we don't really want to think about just today or any holiday or birthday or special occasion. We want to have a healthy lifestyle throughout the whole year. That way, when times like this do come up, you don't have to worry about it. You go ahead and indulge, you do you. You don't have to worry about things. So, tip number one, a healthy lifestyle is important every day of the year. Do you have anything to comment on that, Tiana, at all? You agree?
Absolutely. That fits into, the mantra that it's about the 80-20 or 90-10, whichever philosophy you fall into, right? So, 10% of the time you should be able to have what you want. So, absolutely.
Awesome. That's right. Don't worry about those days. You should have those days and own those days. Do what you need to do those days. Don't worry about it. All right, tip number two, don't buy your favorite candy. That's a pretty straightforward tip there. What you have in the house, you will eat. I often tell clients all the time, don't buy it and have it in your house because you will eat it eventually. And the other way too. Go ahead, Tiana. I know. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say the dietitian's first law of food dynamics. If it's in the house, you're more likely to eat it.
Awesome, awesome. That's right. And I tell people the reverse too. I tell clients all the time, buy great healthy food, whole foods, wholesome foods, and have them in your house. Because guess what? If they're in their house, you'll eat those too. And that's what you should be eating. So, tip number two, don't buy your favorite candy. All right. Tip number three, offer up non-food items. This helps out the neighborhood and the other kids in the neighborhood. You don't want to have them getting diabetes or anything. No. But non-food items. Bubbles, I heard from Tiana's daughter last night. Bubbles was a good one. What else do you think, Tiana?
Well, given that it's Halloween, a really fun one you're going to want to be the first stop next year is to give away those glow sticks. The ones that you can bend and turn into a bracelet or a necklace. So now you can
Right.
walk around, trick or treating and you're wearing one of your first treats.
Yeah, something for kids love the flashy stuff. Look at this shiny thing instead of all the candy and everything else. All right. Next, eat a large dinner before trick or treating. It kind of goes with you want to get nice and full before you go grocery shopping because you don't want to grocery shop with your eyes, that sort of thing. Eat a large dinner before trick or treat. What do you have to say about that, Tiana?
Well, that comes under the philosophy of crowding out. So the more good stuff you eat, if you're full, you're not going to have as much room to overeat, those treats. It makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah, one tip that I like to put in my client's toolbox is to have a couple of scoops or a scoop of protein before you go out and to indulge. Or if you know you're going to have stuff that kind of off menu and you're going to have something that you really, really like and you don't want to go overboard, have yourself a protein shake, before you head out. That's all. All right, so tip number 4 that I have for you guys is eat a large dinner before trick-or-treating. All right, fifth one, final one that I have anyhow. After trick-or-treating, portion off the candy, all right, and spread it out evenly over the next week to 10 days. Just spread it out. You take the portion the candy off. You're gonna get all this kid. Throw some of the stuff away. I mean, there's a methodical way we could probably do this, right, Tiana? What do you think? Sorting
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
candy.
I mean, you know, from what I've seen when my kids were growing up and actually still doing the trick or treating, they would come back with the biggest pile of loot. There's no way they can eat all of that in 10 days. So, part of that tip is you portion out what is a reasonable amount to have in a day, and each family is going to decide what's right for them. It might be three, four, five pieces of those little minis. It could be two, depending what's right for the individual. And yes, you might have a predetermined number of days that you're kind of going through that before you're like, okay, now we need to take a break. Because then it gets beyond that 10 to 20%.
Yeah, right. Put maybe save it. Just throw it away or give it away. Give, sort it out and then throw some of it away and give some of it away. Matter of fact, to help out with that, I think that we could probably, in the sorting of the candy when you get back home, there's probably a couple of items that you could probably just get rid of right away if you want to think about better health, not ingesting or having your children ingest it. One of those things that I can think of is the artificial food coloring, for instance. You don't want to really ingest that. That's one thing. What do you think, Tiana?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to minimize it. Again, for that enjoyment factor, if your absolute favorite, is red licorice, you might allow yourself a piece. But certainly if you're looking at from a health perspective that I want to eat some candy, it doesn't matter which one, then I would definitely have some tips about that. And you're right, looking for the things that are more artificial, maybe the things that have the bad fats, as we call those trans fats, maybe something that is more of the high fructose corn syrup versus things that just say sugar. So that might be one way to kind of reclassify the individual items into maybe one's a little less bad, one's a little healthier, certainly.
Yeah, I like that. And again, this is just advice. Just kind of giving you guys some suggestions. You can take them and use them. You don't have to, no big deal, but at least you're aware. We're making you aware. So one thing is, artificial food coloring, try to stay away from it if you'd like to be a little bit healthier. Like she said, if your favorite candy happens to have it, no, whatever, it is what it is. But that's just one thing that you can look for. Another thing that she said was trans fats, right? Trans fats you want to kind of stay away from too. That's something you can minus from the pile. And then another thing that she mentioned was high fructose corn syrup. Look for stuff that has sugar or honey or just a more natural source, or just regular corn syrup even would be sufficient. But yeah, those are all excellent ways you can sort the stuff out. Spread it out. Like Tiana says, you don't want to go past those 7 to 10 days because then you go past that 10% that she was talking about of moderation. Uh, but yeah, do we have anything else, or do you have anything else, Tiana?
Well, if we're going to look again inside the choices, I definitely would recommend something more of a chocolate, a darker chocolate, especially. At least you can say you get a little benefit from those polyphenols in chocolate. Maybe chocolate that has nuts. And of course, we're already making the assumption that someone has eliminated the items they might have an allergy to. That goes
Right.
without saying. So those mini chocolates with nuts in it, it's a way to dilute the amount of sugar. So that is one recommendation. I don't know all the items that are being given out now, but there's now a trend. Some people are giving out little mini bags of nuts, mini bags of pretzels. They're decorated in a Halloween theme. Um, some people even little juice boxes. Fruit leather is a great option. At least, I mean, it is sugary, but it's made from dried fruit. So if it's a natural fruit leather, that's a great
Hmm.
option. And then what about chewing gum? One, it takes you quite a long time to chew it. There's a number of sugar-free options. Even the ones that do have sugar still are probably a little less impactful overall than the amount of candy. And then if we're gonna, talk about dental health, again, some parents are gonna have different preferences. The things that are very sticky, you might want to avoid those as well, or just be very conscientious that
The sugar daddies or
and
taffy or
brush your
something.
teeth
Yeah.
before you go to bed on Halloween.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can look out for. A lot of little simple things you can do to have a healthier Halloween. And just to recap for you guys, on my tips anyway, a healthy lifestyle is important every day of the year. Don't buy your favorite candy. Offer up non-food items. Eat a large dinner before trick-or-treating, or a protein shake. A large dinner, preferably of whole foods. After trick-or-treating, portion off that candy and spread out evenly over 7 to 10 days, but not past that. And Tiana brought up another great suggestion as far as sorting out the candies is look out for those food allergies. Milk, soy, and nuts are the big three to look out for. So it's a good thing to look out for those. Um, Anything else, Tiana? Do you get some more tips for us?
So one thing we didn't talk about is those individuals who want to celebrate but aren't necessarily purchasing candy to give out, because there are some people, whether it's an apartment building or they live in an area where they don't get trick-or-treaters, they want to enjoy the fact that it's one of those days it's acceptable to have treats. So I think in that case, the opposite effect is buy your absolute favorite, but buy one portion of it. So if it's a chocolate bar, buy one full size chocolate bar of your favorite, or one cupcake, or a big, I don't know, cookie or cannoli, right? So in that case, I do think it's important to have what you enjoy it, and be done with it. Because if you buy something that you think, oh, it's going to be a little healthier, but it's not my favorite, you might end up eating your way all the way to your favorite. So that would be another recommendation for those who are not dealing with the mounds of candy that they're giving out. You did bring up, why don't you get rid of some? There is now a trend in schools that they have bins for donations. So after the kids go trick or treating, the family sorts it, keep what you want, the rest can be donated into those bins and it's given away. If there are some candies, especially chocolate, holds up well to freezing. And you might find that you have chocolate bars, um, little chocolate kisses, things that may be able to be used at a future time. You can put those in the freezer, take them out at Christmas, or put them, or the holidays. They also might even be able to be used and incorporated into holiday baking for treats that you're giving away to family and friends or serving at the holidays. So there are some ways to save for later by putting things in the freezer.
That's awesome because let me tell you, Thanksgiving right around the corner, Christmas right there. I mean, I can't believe it. Um, but no, I love that. So give things away, sort it out, ones you don't want or the excess, give it away. Schools or some schools are taking them, have programs for that. No, that's awesome. And then I really love that, you know, take that day and get yourself a nice treat that you haven't had in a long time, or just, I'm all about nostalgia, so I'd pick something nostalgic. But pick something you like, and then have that for the day instead of just this all this candy. And usually it's like Mars. And I mean, I'm not trying to hate on any brand candy or anything. I'm a little bit of a food snob when it comes to chocolate, so I like the good stuff. But yeah, I love that idea of having individual thing that you get yourself. That's great. Awesome tip. Thanks, Tiana. Um, well, anything else, Tiana? I'm all out.
I think awareness around sugar in general, Halloween again is a day to enjoy. But I think we need to have more awareness around sugar in general. So since it's Halloween, I'm going to say something very scary right now. I think the latest statistic is about 40% of the population is headed towards type 2 diabetes. So that's
Wow.
no laughing matter. The amount of sugar that children are consuming is unbelievable. I think the estimation is that the average intake between ages like 2 to 19 year olds is could be close to 20 teaspoons of sugar. That's a lot of sugar.
Wow. And let me add to that real quick is that, back in our day, I'm not going to say our ages or anything, but back in our day, I think that I dare to say the candy was more wholesome, meaning like they had sugar as opposed to high fructose corn syrup and all these other chemicals they have these days. So children now are consuming those on top of, that as well, whereas before didn't really have that too much of an issue. So it's more sugar and then more of bad chemicals at the same time. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, most likely. Agree. Yeah. And just the sheer volume that I see kids getting. It is fun. It's a hunt. It's a treasure hunt. But I think with the trend of adding in some non-sweet treats is fun. Still can have fun around it. So, but yeah, we just need to create more awareness of the negative influence of sugar long term, repeatedly over and over. So,
Yeah, especially around these holidays, right? One after the other, boom, boom, boom.
yep.
But we'll have some more different holiday tips and other stuff for you here in this group, anyhow, uh, coming up here. So in the future, again, guys, thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you do use some of our hacks for healthier Halloween this year. And if you do, let us know. If you do catch us on the replay, because obviously nobody showed up. I mean, hey, I didn't advertise it. We just decided yesterday. We popped on. No big deal. We're gonna tape this. It's before Halloween, so as far as I'm concerned, we're good. So anyhow, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or just let me know what you try or what you're going to try in the comments section under this, and let us know. Other than that, have an awesome Halloween, and please don't forget to vote on that poll for Zach Wagner to figure out what he is going to talk about in our first workshop, virtual workshop. Anything else that you have, Tiana?
Great, great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm open to fielding questions in the group in the forum. So have a healthy, happy, and most important, safe Halloween.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiana. Awesome to have you. And we're looking forward to having you again here.
Right, thanks.
All right, guys, we're signing out. Happy Halloween.